Yo guys, so I didn't do an intro to the podcast yesterday, so that's what this is. So shout out to Martin, thank you for coming on and everything like that. Absolute legend, sound guy, down to earth and full lot. Check out his Instagram, it's in the description below. Give this a like and subscribe to my channel for me please. And yeah, we'll just get straight into it.
A little bit of an informal chat, basically. Just telling your story, that's all it is. So everything you've been through, accomplished and everything like that, that's all it is. So I'll obviously fire a few questions at you, just as like prompts, but it is more just back and forth sort of thing. Is that all right? Yeah?
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, nice one. So first question I've got is, where did Unicorn Beast come from?
So we went to our first Arnold competition 3 years ago now, and at the time I had this design, which was a gorilla, which was pretty cool. But what I noticed in the sport, we needed to liven it up a little bit. And walking around the stands at the expo, I found this company called Unicorn Muscle, which I thought their version of your unicorn was awesome. So I got in contact with them and asked them if I could use their print, and they declined for whatever reason. So I managed to find a company in England that did that design for me, which was awesome.
Yeah. Because I've noticed that you've got merchandise out as well, which seems pretty cool as well. I've had a look at that.
Yeah, so I started selling the t-shirts off. I sold quite a few actually. A bit crazy. I've sent them over to Canada, America, Australia, so all over the place.
Yeah, it just shows that you've got quite a big following then, doesn't it, really, if you've got it all over in different countries. So I know you did Invictus Games over in Canada, didn't you?
Yeah, so I did two Invictus Games, one in Australia and Canada. So the first one was in Toronto, Canada, which was an absolutely amazing experience to do. Got to bring my family over with me as well, which was awesome. From doing that is what propelled me into strongman.
Yeah, because you did, from what I've read, you did rowing, were it there, and rugby and volleyball.
So in Canada, I did rugby, basketball, rowing, powerlifting, shot put, discus. So I did quite a few.
Yeah.
And I did pretty good. There's only one event I didn't medal in, so.
Right, yeah, that's quite good, that.
yeah, not bad.
So what was it that made you choose powerlifting then, over others if you medalled in them all?
So when I got into the Invictus Games, I started training, obviously, and I realised that I thought I'd just go and give all these sports a go and see how I get on with them. And powerlifting was down there, and I just kind of fell into it, really. Figured out that I was quite good at it. I was lifting a lot more than anyone else on the camps with me. And I had probably zero knowledge of what I was doing. We went out there, and I hold the Invictus record at the moment.
Yeah.
And it was from that then I found strongman.
Yeah, so you just kind of had like a natural talent for it, sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of. I've just been pretty lucky, you know. I never applied for Invictus. It was actually my partner that did it.
Yeah.
Back in a few years back now. I just went and found that I just, I really, at the time I was struggling a little bit with PTSD and stuff, and depression a little bit kicking in. And it was really that propelled me through that period. And, sport was made a massive impact on my life.
Yeah, because you get a lot of sports people that do say that sport helps with it. So would you say that you agree with that sort of thing?
Yeah, massively. When I was going through my rehabilitation, I didn't really get on with it too well. I wasn't mentally in that place to start that. And it was only through sport that really brought me out the other side of all that.
Yeah. Well, that's quite interesting, to be fair, because I was going to join military, to be fair, a couple of years back, but I decided against it just because after, because you have basic training, don't you? I'm going to join the Navy. So after that, they were wanting to send me away, just on a ship, and I didn't fancy it. So what was it that appealed to you to join?
Well, to be honest, I was living in an old lad's house at the time, a bit of a party house, and life wasn't going anywhere really. You know, we were just living for paycheck to get on the pop at weekends and to have a good time. But then after a certain amount of time, something kicks in that says, "Come on, you've got to do something." My dad was in the army. He was in the army for a long time. So I've always been brought up around military. And me and my mate at the time just decided, look, we're not going anywhere. Let's want to sign up.
Yeah. Would you say that it was a good experience then?
Oh yeah, it was
Public world and everything like
that. I always put it down. The military was my university experience. I never went to university.
Yeah.
So, and again, like it's crazy because it is just another, a long party really, but you're getting paid. Obviously you have to go out and do the work when you're on in FIFA and out on tour and stuff. But when you're back home with just one big family, getting on it and just enjoying life. Yeah.
But I read as well that you did boxing in military. Is that correct?
Yeah. So for a couple of years, I wasn't particularly good at it, to be honest.
All right.
It got me out of wearing uniform, so.
Fair enough. Did you enjoy that then?
Yeah, I did. It was hard work, mind. A lot of running, a lot of weight cutting. Needless to say, I prefer strongman because it's completely the opposite.
Yeah. Well,
but at the time, it was a good experience.
Yeah. Well, how do you manage to keep up with all calorie intake and stuff like that then? Because I know that's going to be quite hard.
Yeah. So, at the moment, not at the moment because I'm not training at the moment, but when I'm back training, I'm on 8,000 calories a day.
Christ.
Yeah, it's a lot of food, and it's probably the hardest bit of the training, rather than the gym work. Trying to get all those calories in, it can be, especially like for me, I don't like to eat before I go and work out because I just feel stodgy and don't want to train very hard. But sometimes you've got to force yourself. Quite often in the middle of a training session, you'll feel sick. You just got to carry on. It is a struggle, but you want those results. That's what you've got to put in.
Yeah. Do you tend to go for, let's say, high calorific food, so like chocolate and things like that over?
Yeah. So I do eat healthy food as well.
Yeah, of course.
But to pack those calories in, you have to. If you imagine trying to eat 8,000 calories in vegetables a day, that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you have to go for the high calorific foods as well.
So is it more when you're training that you have to do the high calorific, then when you're not, you just stick to the lower calories?
Well, so I'll probably still eat a fair bit more than the average person. When I'm not training, but I'm not religious about it. Obviously, if I'm taking 8,000 calories in and I'm not doing anything, I'm not converting that into energy or anything. All that's going to do is then build up the fat too much.
Yeah, fair enough. And then we said that you were the current Invictus holder at record, aren't you?
Yeah.
So what's it like holding that record?
It's an amazing feeling to know that you've got a record in the Invictus Games. Pretty sure my next games it's going to be broken. The lad that I was lifting against from the Ukraine, he's a very strong dude. I've obviously stood down from the Invictus now. So I think it will go. It's not massively high, so I can lift more than that now. So, but it's still a good feeling to know that everyone in the games knew who I was because of I did.
Yeah. And then you've got obviously a 550 kilogram deadlift. That is something else. Is that? How did you manage to pull that off? That's a start. It's one of them. Christ.
That was one of the other things that I just happened to fall into. We went to my first ever strongman competition, and I think I did near enough 10 more reps than anybody else could do when we were doing it for reps. So I just carried on with it really, and then obviously Eddie doing his record, And it just came to me. Well, why don't I really start training for this and try and see where I can take it. So 2 years ago at the Arnold's, 2 years ago at the Arnold's, I did the 501 kilos.
Yeah.
Then I got invited down by a gym called At the Gym to do Guinness World Record of 505 kilos.
Yeah.
And then we went out to Canada. I pulled 520, but I tore my pec doing it, which kind of buggered me for the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
But I came away with a record anyway. And Eddie said something to me. He was there when I did the 501, and he came over and congratulated me. And he says, "We're going to see 600 next," which obviously, got me thinking. Is it possible to go any higher? And then obviously I started pushing over the 500 boundary, and I just thought, well, let's take this. Let's see where we can go with it. Train my ass off, and I managed to get the 550 up. I can announce to you now that I haven't put it on social media or anything yet, but it's going up. And that my intention is in the next 2 years to go for 600.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Have you got the intention of going up to the 600 mark after?
Yeah, obviously. When the 550 went up, it didn't feel easy. Obviously, it was a hard lift.
Yeah.
I felt there was more in there that I could give. So I'm definitely gonna, train as hard as I can and see just where I can take this lift. I think it's getting nationally now. It's recognised a lot more. In the early days, I was getting a little bit of trolling and grief over it, because people didn't really understand what I was doing, and they were saying, "Oh, that's not a deadlift. That's not even a lift." But through educating these people, we've started to take it on board now. All the able-bodied guys, they're all behind me. They all congratulate me when I do it.
Yeah.
So, for me, that's justification enough.
Yeah. Well, how would you handle your nerves and everything like that when it comes to doing such a high lift? Because I presume you've got quite an audience watching.
Yeah, well, the 550 was very strange, actually. There was no one watching. So at the Arnold's this year, because of Corona breakout, basically what they said is no spectators. So the expo side and the spectators weren't allowed in.
Right.
But one thing it did allow is for athletes to come and watch. So it was quite good to have all the athletes in the stands, which really appreciate just how much weight that is. And have them cheering you on was amazing. But when it went out on social media after that, it blew up, and I had thousands of messages and stuff, which I just feel honoured that people want to message me and congratulate me.
Yeah. Well, which would you say was your most favourite one to compete at? Because you've got the Arnold ones, you've got the Invictus. Which ones would you say were?
For me, probably the Arnold's is the most exciting for me. I loved competing at the Invictus Games. Don't get me wrong, that was an amazing experience, absolutely amazing. Everything is done for you there. I'd go so far to say it's even better than the Olympics, how it's organised.
Yeah.
But for me, because just how much effort I have to put into it, I would say the Arnold's is the biggest event of the year for me.
Yeah. So would you say that's the most competitive one as well?
Obviously there's two for us. There's the Arnold's and the Worlds. So what you get with the Arnold's is, because they've got the expo side, you get a lot of people that wouldn't normally come and watch you. So you tend to have bigger numbers in the crowds at the Arnold. Whereas at the Worlds, not so many numbers, but obviously you're really pushing everything to the extreme at the Worlds to get that title.
Yeah. Well, which one would your favourite location be? Because I know you've competed at Farnborough, and then you put on social media that you wanted to compete at Germany again. I think.
So I love Germany. I've won German's Strongest Man twice. They all put on a really good show for me. One of my sponsors, ATX, they come from Germany. Yeah. So it's always good to go over and see those guys. they happen to sponsor Disabled Strength as well. So their equipment is what I break all the records on, which is fantastic for both of us. So, but you know, we've been over to Canada. That's been amazing. Iceland, Norway. We've been all over, to be honest. And I wouldn't say I have a particular favourite because they all have their good points.
Yeah.
To
it. So you mentioned that you were competing against a Ukrainian, I think it was.
Yes.
That were very strong. Who would you say would be the hardest person that you've competed against?
Say that again, sorry.
Who would you say would be the hardest person that you've competed against?
In strongman, there's probably two guys which have battled with me in the past. And another ex-veteran called Mark, and another lad called Darren. We've gone head to head a few times. We've both had a few wins. We've both had a few losses. For me, going into a competition, I don't want to walk in there and know I've won. So I want the competition there, and I think it keeps you grounded when you lose a couple as well. It makes you come train harder and reset your goals.
Yeah, it just gives you that determination back that you want to go back and keep fighting for it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you'd like to compete against that you haven't managed to yet?
Maybe Eddie and Harfor in the deadlift.
Yeah.
No, I've been quite lucky, to be honest. We're always looking for new people to come into the sport because we want the competition. We want to make it harder. We want to elevate it to where it should be. It's still quite new in the scale of things, disabled strongman. It's only been around for a few years. So it's growing and growing each year at the moment, and we've got some really good guys on board now, which are helping us push the sport. Another reason for me doing the 550 is to get everyone to open their eyes up and see that there is a disabled side to this, and it's not just a pink and fluffy. Oh, thank you for taking part. It is a strong competition, and we are putting everything into it.
Yeah, because it is quite a competition if you're going out there and lifting 550 kilograms. It is a number that you struggle to get your head round.
Yeah,
just
so
how massive it is.
I'm quite lucky. The biggest weight that I can remember in competition, apart from me, has been 460 kilos. So I've just been very lucky with the seated deadlift that I really enjoy doing it, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, to say the least. But well, you mentioned that Eddie came up and congratulated you. What would you say that he's like as a bloke? Would you say he's nice, or would you say he's competitive to try and keep you going and you keep him going, sort of thing, guys?
He's a very before I got to meet Eddie, watching him on his channels and stuff, I always thought he was a little bit arrogant.
Yeah.
But actually, that arrogancy is what you need to be at the level that he was, and I understand that now. But if you actually go and speak to him, he is the nicest, down-to-earth bloke you've ever met in your life. I've been very lucky. We've bumped into each other a few times. In fact, he refereed the 550 for me. He is a really nice guy to speak to.
Yeah, it's always good to hear, to be fair. that you've got respect for each other like that. Just because you see some sportsmen, don't you, that don't respect each other. So it's always nice to see two that do.
In the able-bodied side, there's a lot more tension than the disabled side. We don't tend to get into the nitty-gritty as much.
Right.
We don't sweat the small stuff. There's been a few kick-ups, but nothing major. We're not just there to compete. We're there to enjoy ourselves competing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we're going to compete any less. It's just we want to have a good time while we're doing it. There's no point in doing it, if you ask me. Whereas, obviously, you've seen some of the turmoil that's gone on with the able-bodied lot. But they've always showed me the greatest respect when I've spoke to them. I'm like I say, I've been very lucky. I've been backstage with them all. I've met most of the big guys a few times. Lawrence Shirley, he refereed my Guinness World Record deadlift.
Yeah.
And hopefully, when this infection and stuff's all over, we're going to set up some training videos and stuff with some of the guys as well.
That should be good, to be fair. That should be very good. Are you looking forward to doing that with them all and everything?
Yeah, definitely. Initially, you need to get back into training, get the strength back up. It's been pretty hard for me. I'm pretty lucky that, I've got some good sponsors on board. So as we're talking now, I've got the workmen in the back garden building a gym for me.
All right. It's all right.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before I can start pushing some iron again.
Yeah. Well, what is your usual workout regime then? If you don't mind asking.
So 2 to 3 hours, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Leading up to a comp, more on the 3 hour side. I tend to work 2 body parts a day, maybe. Apart from Monday's chest, keep Meadows chest. I still do a very strict powerlifting bench press. So I do the whole pause. I don't do the bounce and all that. But that's just because that's what's been bred into me. Through doing the powerlifting side, and then I'll go and do biceps, triceps, lats and trats, do a back session. But it's all quite loose. It depends what I feel like on the day. I've got back issues through injury and stuff. So if my back's feeling sore, I'll just cut it out and do it the next week or the end of the week or something like that.
Yeah. So you says that your partner entered you into it, the Invictus Games. Did you have anyone that you liked watching while you were there? Before you started it yourself.
So that's how it came about. So we were watching it on TV, and I was giving it the big, I can do that sort of thing. She says, why don't you? And I said, oh no, you're all right. Not being in the mental space for it and stuff. Well, not that I thought I wasn't in the mental space for it. And then she called in, I got the phone call, she told me that she applied for me. But to be honest, I just like watching people excel with what disability they have. Some people is very physical disabilities like triple amputee. Some people it's just mental, some people it's just PTSD or depression or something like that. But they're all hurdles you have to jump over, and to watch people go from a shell of a person to a whole person is, it's an experience.
Yeah. Well, speaking about military before, where would you say was your favourite place to do your tour? Because I know you did Afghanistan, then was there Iraq, I think I read?
Yeah, so I've done... So I did Northern Ireland for 2 years. That was quite good out there. I've done Canada. No, I haven't done Canada. Cyprus, which sounds like an awesome place to go on tour. It's not, because you're hot, you're sweaty, and it's pretty boring work out there. But yeah, I've done Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm obviously not going to pick Afghanistan because that's where I got hit by a suicide bomber. But to be honest, I probably had my best time in Northern Ireland. Was pretty cool, actually. I got a real eye-opener to what was going on there, because a lot of people don't realise that even today they still have a certain amount of trouble out there.
Yeah. Well, would you say that you still keep in contact with all your army friends and stuff like that, or is it more you've drifted apart since if they still serve and you, I presume, don't?
Yeah, so there's a couple that I speak to every now and again. But to level with you, basically what happened is when I was in hospital, not long after I came out of my coma and stuff, a load of the lads came up from camp, and I basically told them to go away. Again, that was to do with my mental side, that I just couldn't deal with it at the time. So I kind of pushed a lot of my friends away. I still have a lot of them that follow me on Insta and stuff, and message me quite often, congratulating me and stuff, and how well I've done. but there is still a number that I'm not in contact with anymore.
Ah, right. Fair enough. Well, that's majority of questions that I had planned. So it's just a matter of if you've got anything else that you wish to share, talk about, or anything like that.
Not really.
Oh, fair enough.
Unless you want me to say anything.
I don't mind anything that you wish. But, well, have you got any advice to people that you'd give those that are either entering military or leaving it for one reason or another?
Yeah, the military's changed a lot now. It's not the military I joined, but I still think it's a fantastic experience to do. It certainly changes you from a boy into a man. And it's well worth doing. I'm not saying that you're going to love it and do your 22 years. But you can go and try it for a few years. You'll get to go some amazing places where you won't ever be able to go without the military. So yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's everything that I've got to ask. So if that's everything from your side.
Yes, mate. That's it, mate.
Yeah. Well, much appreciated. Thank you for coming on. I hope to speak to you soon.
Happy days.
Right. Thank you.
Cheers, bud.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.